Gotta hold it.
I'd like to call to order the Proctor City Council meeting for Monday, April 15th, 2024. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll perform roll call at this time. Councilor Benson.
Present.
Councilor Roeder.
Present.
Councilor Johnson.
Present.
Councilor DeWall.
Present.
Mayor Ward is also present, along with Administrator Rich. Looking for a motion to approve the City Council meeting minutes for Monday, April 1, 2024.
So moved.
Councilor Roeder made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Before that motion is made, I'd like to add 4E RFP for the attorney position. With that being said, is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda? I'll make a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor DeWall. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. That'll bring us to comments and suggestions from the citizens present or watching from home. The public comment and suggestion period of this meeting is when the City Council offers a time for everyone in attendance or watching from home to address the City Council. Once we move on from the public comment and suggestion period of the meeting, members of the public will no longer be allowed to address the council unless the mayor acknowledges you. As a general rule, the council will listen to all comments but will not comment on or respond to any comments made by speakers. The council will not engage in dialogue. However, any council member can ask questions. If you'd like to address the City Council during the public comment suggestion period of the meeting, please come forward to the podium or dial 218-628-6289. Before you begin, please state your name and address for the meeting minutes. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the City Council will be prohibited from using obscene, profane, or threatening language or boisterous conduct that disrupts the meeting or the security of the public. Is there anyone at this time that is interested in participating in the public comment suggestion period of the meeting? Please come forward or dial 218-628-6289. We'll give that a minute. Hearing none, we'll move on. Looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda. I'll make a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda, pulling 4C and 4E.
I'll second that.
Councilor Roeder seconds that. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. That will bring us to 4C, Public Safety 2024 Special Events. Prior to this meeting, Public Safety had a meeting regarding, I believe there were 15 total events. And before we can approve those, liquor control needs to meet and make a recommendation. And then there were, I believe, 8 of those events that needed to come before council. So I would make a motion to, Administrator Rich, you want us to just table this and put it under old business?
I think it should come up under new business.
What's that?
Maybe it should come up under new business
For the next meeting.
for the next meeting. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take no action on it right now and have it come up under new, or make a motion to put it under new?
Make a motion to put it under
Okay.
new. Thank you.
So I'll make a motion to put the Public Safety 2024 special events under new business on the next meeting after liquor control meets, because I'm not sure when their meeting is scheduled.
Second.
Second by Councilor Roeder. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. That'll bring us to 4E, attorney RFPs. Administrator Rich.
Thank you, Mayor. That deadline for firms to submit an RFP was Friday, and we received 3 submissions. So from here, we need to have our next steps and how you want to review those, who you want to review them, as a process to come back to city council, or if you want the entire city council, a committee, looking for direction on how you want them processed.
I guess I would like to see the proposals, and I don't need to sit on a committee, but I'd be interested in to read the proposals from all the firms that have submitted and maybe
Is it
have a
something
committee.
where we have them sent out to everyone on council? If you have thoughts, suggestions, concerns, we forward them back to city administrator to narrow down or cultivate.
I'm fine with that idea.
That's kind of, then you would kind of be our committee based on the suggestions, recommendations, but to tally them together
Okay.
to bring back to council.
Does that work with everyone?
I would like to also see, perhaps have a comment or two depending on if there's any prior knowledge of who's there. Then forward the suggestions or questions, and if there's enough questions, maybe a second letter could go to the attorneys to address that. Or should I say applicants.
I agree. All right. I'll make a motion to have Administrator Rich send out the RFPs to council for review and have council respond back any questions or concerns have with Administrator Rich. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Benson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. That will bring us to 5D under unfinished business, Resolution 17-24, a resolution adopting title and ballot language pertaining to a local option sales tax authorized by the Minnesota Legislature to be submitted to the qualified voters of the city of Proctor at the general election on November 5th, 2024. So in your packet is the unfinished business from last meeting that we tabled regarding the ballot question. Councilor Reuter brought up a question regarding adding parks to this sales tax increase, and it looks like we cannot do that. The legislation language approved is for a trail project, but the city of Proctor does have parks identified as a use of funds in the 2014 1% sales tax code.
I didn't think that was in there. Didn't we look at that and thought it just said trails?
So I looked in code and it does say parks. Yeah.
So we can use sales tax money for parks?
That's what I'm reading.
Do we have any? I mean, I thought before we were talking about that we thought that some of the food and beverage tax was gonna go to parks and trails, but I thought we looked at the legislation and it just said trails. Well, that's a different tax, food and beverage versus, we're talking about the retail
So it's
sales
saying
tax.
Yeah,
Part of the 1% regular tax that we have, we can use for parks? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because if I may, Mr. Mayor, the one
Yeah,
question I
Councilor Doyle.
had, and either Mr. Rader or Mr. Benson are the only ones that are gonna know. This would be our third 0.5% increase if successful. We did 2 0.5% increases already, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Starting in, the first one was 2014-ish, and then the second one was either 17 or 18. And they were all just 0.5%.
And what were those designated for?
I know trails,
This building.
this
One of those, this building? Okay. 2014 must have been this building?
Yeah. Part of it was to realign the Ninth Street and Boundary Avenue.
Okay.
That never happened. And
Infrastructure too is designated for sales tax.
Okay. All right, so you got the question in front of you. If that is something council would like to see added to the ballot on November 5th, 2024, I'd entertain a motion to approve the question.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
Councilor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Councilor Johnson seconds that. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes.
It's not like we're just putting it on. Voters have to approve it, so
Yeah, it's a ballot question that would have to be adopted by the majority of the
we're gonna do
eligible
some
voters.
sort of advertising ahead of time as to why we wanna do this, so
I think,
that
yeah,
people aren't surprised.
I think we gotta educate people on what it's going for, you know? And I don't know, Councilor Benson, did you have any ideas on that? I thought you were working on something with that.
I think Hermantown did a nice template. Of course, it was over a variety of activities, hockey, trails, fields, but I think if we just kind of expect that trail portion, we have a good template to work off of. But it's not like we could encourage people to vote one way or another. This is just an advisory piece to let people know why we're trying to do what we're doing.
Kind of like what the school did with the hockey arena.
Yeah, well, yes and no.
Right on. Any other discussion on that item? Hearing none, we'll move to 5E under unfinished business, Resolution 18-24, Declaration of Surplus Items and Surplus Property Policy. Another item from our last meeting that we decided to table. Councilor DeWall brought up some issues regarding the legalities of donating to a nonprofit organization. Administrator Rich looked into it, and it looks like we have to set a policy. We do have the flexibility of doing it, but we have to have a policy in place defining how we're gonna go about donating to a nonprofit organization. The recommendation here would be to, I don't know what the right word would be, we don't want to table it, but deny this resolution. So we got some items on the agenda tonight under new business that would fix this issue. So I'll make a motion to deny resolution 18-24. Is there a second?
Support.
Supported by Councilor DeWall. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Brings us to 6A under new business, Resolution 19-24, St. Rose Bingo Permit. In your packet is a resolution of non-objection to issuance of State of Minnesota charitable gambling license for St. Rose Church to conduct bingo on November 21st, 2024. Is there a motion to approve? Councilor Benson made a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. 6B, Resolution 20-24, Utility Rate Study. In your packet, you saw that the PUC is doing some increases to their water rates, and they are looking at doing a utility rate study for water, sewer, electrical, and stormwater. This looks like the source of funds would be $10,000 from the sewer fund, and sewer, stormwater account, water fund, and it was included in the 2024 budget.
Yeah, Mayor, I had a typo on that memo. There's $10,000 budgeted from each of those accounts and
Okay.
funds for a
Okay.
total of $40,000.
So looking for a motion to approve the utility rate study RFPs.
So moved.
Councilor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Sent by Councilor DeWall. Any further discussion? I just had one question on this. We conducted a study in 2016, and their recommended rates were through 2027.
Yeah.
PUC feels we need to update that? Okay.
It was discussed at our last PUC meeting, and PUC wanted to strongly recommend to council, but they knew that we were doing it in partnership and just wanted council support to do so, and adding the, as Administrator Rich alluded to, adding a storm sewer.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. 6C, Resolution 21-24, policy for donation of surplus equipment to a nonprofit organization. So in your packet is a new policy that would allow the city of Proctor to donate surplus equipment to nonprofit organizations. Is there a motion to approve Resolution 21-24? Councilor Johnson made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Benson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. That'll bring us to Councilor Benson.
The only question I have, and it's not a change or anything like that, but on Exhibit 1 with the surplus equipment form, whether or not you feel it's needed to have a laundry list, if you will, of the stuff being donated, or just to place a value on it, whether it's less than 1,000 or more, or something a little more sophisticated. And I don't know if that's needed or not. In reviewing it, that was my observation.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point. I should have discussed this prior to making that motion, but we can do another motion if need be. In the policy, Councilor Benson, there is fair market value that our finance director would have to work with city staff to determine a fair market value of surplus equipment. So that should be in the resolution, I believe, when it comes forward.
Yeah, because it's part of the application, they have to determine the,
So it wouldn't be a bad idea to have that on Exhibit 1, since we gotta make a determination on the fair market value anyway.
it's a less than greater than number.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the policy also, which I should have brought up and I skipped over, so my apologies, but under number 8, approval of donation, there's 2 blank spots. Did you want us to set those limits tonight?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about your comfort level with that. That is up to your discretion.
So under number 8, approval of donation, it talks about if the surplus equipment has a fair market value less than blank, the city administrator shall approve the donation to an eligible organization, subject to review by the city council. If surplus equipment has a fair market value greater than blank, the city council must approve the donation by a majority vote of the city council. So we gotta set those 2 limits. And do you have a recommendation on that? Or does council have a recommend?
Will it be the same number? It's either less than that number or greater than that number.
Yeah, make it easy.
Well, I mean,
Get rid of one blank.
it just makes sense. Like I said, if fair market value is less than 500, she can do it. If it's greater than 500, it has to come to council.
That was the number that I had in my mind.
500? Is that a motion, Councilor Reuter?
Yes.
Councilor Reuter made a motion to set both limits at 500 if it's less than or greater than 500. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Councilor Benson, did that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. That will bring us to 6D, Resolution 22-24, resolution declaring and donating surplus equipment to a nonprofit organization. So in your packet is a resolution 22-4, declaring the following equipment as surplus: track 7 cable, TV, miscellaneous supplies and equipment. If this resolution does pass, I spoke with Administrator Rich prior to this meeting. Per the policy, it needs to be advertised on our website for 30 days, and then it can come back to council for approval after that. Rails TV, who I believe is interested in this, would have to fill out that form, submit it to the city. So So then we'd be following that policy that we just approved. So just looking for a motion to approve resolution 22-24. I'll make the motion to approve resolution 22-24. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Reuter. Any further discussion?
Is 30 days too long?
That's the policy we just passed.
Oh, okay, okay, then it's not.
It has to be equal. Yep, I would assume, Administrator, you gotta prove that you're not purposely trying to line a charitable up and leaving a charitable out or 501(c)(3).
Well, in that resolution, or that policy, I'm sorry, I believe Administrator Rich mentioned that the League of Minnesota Cities helped draft some of that language,
Yeah, it was a sample policy provided by the league.
so that's coming right from them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
I,
Oppose? Motion passes. That will bring us to 6E, 2024 Arbor Day Proclamation. Your packet is a proclamation designating April 26, 2024 as Arbor Day in the city of Proctor. Is there a motion to approve?
so moved.
Counselor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Benson. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Counselor Benson.
In the resolution, it has 30 years, and not to be nitpicking, over 30 years, but it's 32.
Arbor Day has on there is 30, the Arbor Day Foundation. That's where I pulled it from.
But it was 2 years old. It's from 2022.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any further discussion? Hearing, oh,
Quick question,
Yeah.
are we gonna plant a tree somewhere or do something for Arbor Day or?
I know that's what the street guys have done in the past. I haven't heard. Are they planning on doing the same?
Yeah, they usually, yeah.
It's Alex.
Alex does it?
He's took over for Dave.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Gonna put one along Second Street maybe, or gotta put trees there anyway.
We just can't put one on the end
Good one.
by the school on the left.
We'll
Maybe
figure,
above.
we'll figure out something.
That wouldn't be a bad idea, though. Yeah.
No comment.
So. Could you, Administrator Rich, could you let us know when they're gonna plan on doing that?
Mhm.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. That will bring us to members' concerns. Counselor Reuter.
Have nothing at this time.
Thank you. Counselor DeWall.
Nothing.
Thank you. Counselor Johnson.
Just want to mention that they're putting up the streetlights on Second Street. They started today. I know they got 2 of them up for sure. So that's kind of cool that we're moving along on Second Street.
Perfect, thank you. Counselor Benson.
Thank you. I noticed there was some work done on the Third Street playground. Looked like some seal coating and striping of basketball lanes.
That was done last summer.
That was last fall?
Yeah, summer, fall, yep.
Oh, okay. I did also want to thank you, the administrator, for the little change in format on the agendas with the, background and requested actions. I think that'll be extremely helpful for the council. And I do want to thank the finance director for her report. Again, very helpful. I appreciate it. So, thank you.
Sir. I got a few items. Just a reminder, local Board of Appeals and Equalization will be on Tuesday, April 30th, 2024 at 10 a.m. right here at City Hall. The RFPs we discussed. Mayor Reinert, State of the City, will be on April 25th, 2024 at 6 p.m. at Duluth Enfield High School, and he has invited us to attend. And then Chief Helquist with the fire department gave his report for the first quarter. We had 133 fire calls in quarter 1. The department responded to all of the fire calls and all but 7 of the first responder calls. So good work to the Proctor Fire Department. I was just in a meeting with Chief Helquist, and he also reported that from April 1 to April 15th, the start of the second quarter, they've already had a total of 37 calls. So they're starting quarter 2 off hot. So thanks for all their work. Chief Gatus.
Just update on our hiring, that in the process of backgrounding 2 candidates right now. I can't do backgrounds per state statute, so we're using Empire Investigations to do the background, and we'll be starting that on Friday. We hope to get them started in May with those 2. So that's getting closer. Snowcross is the other weekend. That went way smoother than I thought it was gonna go. We didn't have the issues that we've had in the past when it was on Thanksgiving weekend. Except the flood, the road going into the Spirit Mountain. This Thursday, we're gonna be taking part in the Parent Academy at the high school, talking about younger kids and cell phone use and how dangerous that can be with extortion and everything else, and making parents aware of what their kids are doing on their phones, because a lot of the parents are not paying attention to what their kids are doing on their phones, and also talking about drug use in school and stuff. So
Nice,
that's what we're gonna be doing.
nice, thank you.
I had one question, Mr. Mayor.
Counselor DeWall.
You said that you're gonna start the backgrounds in May? Or
No, we hope that they will be starting on the road in May.
Oh, doesn't it have to come before council?
Yeah, that's our goal for the time.
Oh, to be presented
Yes.
recommendations to council by the first part of May?
Yes.
Okay, that's,
I just have a timeline in my head where they're gonna be, and then hopefully they start in May.
Thank you.
With that, chief, I'm sorry, are we talking 1 officer, are we talking 2 officers, what?
2. Because they're down 2. Mr. Search just finished field training, so he was our 6th, that when he came back from deployment. So he's on the road by himself.
I might as well keep you up here a little bit longer, but any progress with that retention stuff that we have under unfinished business? I know
We're
police
looking-
civil service was working on,
Yes, we're looking at, still the
Okay.
wage study, looking at what we can do, and so that is in the process. With the
still on the radar though.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, very much so. We have, the Civil Service Commission formed a task force to look at wages and comparable wages, and actually, someone from the council will be getting an invitation to join that task force.
Okay.
That's not to bring up a sore subject, but where does the property on 6th Street and First Avenue sit?
In the absence of a,
Making any progress on that?
yep, in the absence of a city attorney right now, that's been put on hold.
Okay.
And also, we don't have a city attorney to review our new blight ordinance. So it'll be first on the agenda when we hire a new firm.
The owner actually called me up asking questions about it, and I said I can't answer the questions. So he was able to.
Snow's going, Phil will be here again.
We filed an injunction, city attorney resigned, and now we're kind of
Okay.
at a standstill with it, so. Anything else for Chief Gaddis? Counselor Benson?
Going back to your Thursday academy with the parents,
So we've done this before.
okay, that was the question.
Yeah, the first one, I think, looking back, was like 2017, where they invited us up there. It's just not us up there, it's moved to different programs that the parents and, I want to go see, a college counselor maybe, or something, prepare, or whatever it is, or they want to talk to the officers about what I should be looking at with, like I said, the phones, or, in my kid's room for drugs, or paraphernalia and stuff like that. It's just, they can just walk around the school a little different, almost like seminars, like I said.
Very good, thank you.
Anything further? Jess, you're the only one, you sure?
Yeah,
Okay. Administrator Rich, you got anything?
I do not, thank you.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $142,395.25.
So moved.
Counselor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Counselor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
make a motion to adjourn.
Counselor DeWall made a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Thank you.